my god! That's amazing.
There's lots of recipes. So welcome to the allotment again. Here's Dan, and Dan's earthing up the potatoes. Off you go, Dan. So the idea of earthing up potatoes is that if you keep the soil going onto the stems of the plants, you get a better crop than if you just leave them on their own. So Dan's just gently teasing the soil up around them, being careful not to stand on them or snap them with a hoe. But every time you can earth up another inch, you'll get another layer of potatoes. So that means that we'll get even more potatoes than we would have done before. So Dan will take some time, having sown them first in a trench, so the actual bottom layer of potatoes is almost a foot down now. So that means we'll get some really good crops. And he's doing the salad potatoes, which we'll be eating last of all. And so Dan will keep going and do all of this and keep going until most of the, if not all of the plants are covered. And welcome to the greenhouse. I think last time you saw these tomatoes, they were maybe 3 inches high, so they're coming on really well. We've got our first tomato on here, which is a variety called Tigrella. It actually gets yellowy with green stripes on. You don't see them in the shops at all. Quite an old variety, one of my favourites. Lots of flowers on the bush tomatoes and on the other tomatoes here. The important thing about tomatoes this time of year is they need to be watered every day. Even if it's not hot, they will still need some water. We can't afford for them to dry out, because if they dry out, they have far fewer flowers than would be normally. So it's really quite important. And then so what we do is we cut the bottoms out of pots, and we sink the pots into the grow bag and then plant into there. It gives the tomatoes a much better root base, much stronger, more vigorous root base. Plus it's a lot easier to water in there than it is trying to get it through a slit in a plastic bag. So it makes watering quite easy. So quite easy to water when you've got a big pot like this. We haven't started feeding yet. Normally when we get the first tomatoes we start to feed, but that one's quite early. So we probably give it another week or 10 days before we start feeding. And we'll be using initially a high potash feed, which helps the fruit set, and then we'll move to a high nitrogen feed later on in the season, which helps the tomatoes to ripen and gives them a bit more of a flavour. So in this bed here, which we prepared earlier, we're going to plant cauliflowers. These are late cauliflowers, so we can have some for Christmas Day. My ambition every year is to come up on Christmas morning and pick at least 7 vegetables to have for the Christmas lunch. So hopefully we'll have cauliflower, we'll have cabbage, we'll have kale, we'll have swedes, we'll have carrots. So the idea is, that's what I try and do every year. So we're going to plant cauliflowers, and the reason for all of this is the biggest problem we have is not slugs, it's actually pigeons. Pigeons will eat any brassicas down to the ground in a day. So the reason why all of these other beds have got green mesh over is to keep the pigeons out, because they are our worst and biggest pest. We can control slugs with some organic pellets and copper tape. You'll see on some of the beds we've got the remains of copper tape, which keeps the slugs out. But the whole point of putting these in modules and planting them now is to give them a better start, so if any pigeons do get through, at least we've got a chance that they might survive. So I'm going to plant, so we plant these. Now, it's been raining a lot this week and last week, and you would think the ground would be nothing's like dust. It's still so bright, unbelievable. So we'll have to water, having put these in, to make sure they've got enough water. So the idea of these is they're going about 15 inches apart. And all brassicas like to be ferned in, they like to be in really, really solid soil, because they hate rocking about in the wind. So we'll probably do 9 cauliflowers here. Yeah, we'll do 9 cauliflowers in here, and then in the rest of this I'm going to put some more spinach seeds, but I'm going to sow those from seed. That's spinach there, just going to seed now, but that's lasted from last August all the way through to today. I'm still eating it. I made spinach risotto earlier on this week with it. We've still got quite a lot of chard, which is nice. So the point of this allotment is not just to give people somewhere to come to socialise, but also to indulge in their passion for gardening, because they might not have a garden at home, but also to grow things that we can all eat all the way through the winter. So the reason for growing so many tomatoes is not just because I like tomatoes, it's because there'll be 5 or 6 people queuing up to take a bag home every time they come up, which is the whole point of allotment gardening in a community allotment, is to help people like Dan and all of our other friends who come here on a regular basis. So to meet, to socialise, to grow and to eat stuff. Okay, yeah. Right, Kirsti's now going to try something she's never done before. She's going to eat a chive flower. Just make sure there's no flies on it first. And I use them quite a lot in salads. They go into salad just like that. The
smells
bees,
like onion.
The bees love them. It smells like onion. Give it a go, Kirsti.
This is so strange. Oh my god! It's an onion flower!
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, I love, actually, look, that's so powerful as well.
Isn't it amazing? And just imagine you've got that on your salad, you've got really nice purple flowers on your salad, and you eat that. It's amazing.
That's so strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So this bed looks a bit scruffy because we've got our rows of beetroot, but in between it, I'm a great believer in 3 things. So last year we let Rocket go to seed, and as you can see between all of the plants there's loads and loads and loads of Rocket. So we're eating that at the moment. It's really tasty. Just over here is coriander. Again, last year we let the coriander seed, and you get all these new 3 plants. It might not look like Monty Dunn likes his gardens to look like, but we want maximum productivity, and we don't have to buy any seeds. It's all free.